Pick up a pencil or die. The internet reacts to Disney Plus's AI content.
Is romance embarrassing?
What do you think it's like being Eddie?
And I'd rather be anyone than Donald Trump this week.
Bear with us while we wait for the Barista cups to come back in stock as the demand rises up and crashes through. This week with the supply, it's your guy,
Ziggy.
and we
are embarrassing.
That's right, your favorite weekly pop culture
I'd
digest.
rather be anyone
happening around
than
us. And
Donald
I'm talking about
Trump
how it
this
shapes the culture.
Bear with us while we wait for the Barista
Pop
cups to come back in
To put
stock
the
as
culture in
demand
context.
and make the mainstream make sense.
Because if we don't make sense, we don't make
At the patron, shout out to the guys, shout out to the gang and them. Hey, we see you out there cooling with us another week in a row, Slater.
Another hour.
All right,
To put the culture in context,
Kramer.
Because if we don't make sense, we don't
And
make.
if you want to join the clique and get linked up with us, you know what to do. Follow us at the Flood Pod on everything.
That is on everything.
And that is your first reminder to go like, share, and subscribe. Welcome back to
another week in a row,
the stew. I mean, we ain't here, right?
All right.
Don't worry. We are going to get to the fact that Donald Trump allegedly.
Don't blow your load so quickly in the episode.
Well, you already buried the lead there. I was
We
going
just
to
got
say
started.
allegedly
That is on it.
We just got
stalking around the White House
started.
while listening to. And this week's hit on the algorithm is.
You think Donald was walking around the White House listening
Don't worry,
to La
don't worry, we
Pearla
are
this
going to
week?
get to the fact
That's
that
crazy,
Donald
but I
Trump
mean, listen, I wouldn't
allegedly-
blame him though. Rosalia is honestly, if you're not hip, you should get hip.
It was a vibe. Well, you already
vibe.
buried the lead there.
Were you
I was
fucking
going
with
to
it?
say
It was a vibe.
allegedly.
Were you fucking
I
with
was
the
like,
dark,
this feels
dramatic
like around the
atmosphere?
White House while
a
listening
little
to show tunesy.
A little
And
show
this week's
tunesy.
hit
I
on
mean,
the
it was very
algorithm
dramatic,
is-
right?
Like, I
A little
couldn't
bit
see it as a
theatrical.
Disney movie.
It was definitely emotionally charged, right? It had a bit of that flamenco-inspired vocalism that she's known for. Vocalism, is that a word? Vocal delivery.
I could see it. It was
From,
a vibe.
It was a vibe.
Los Compañía
It was a vibe.
Disney.
Yeah, I was like, this feels
It's very
like
orchestral, right?
a little
Heavy
show
on the
tunesy.
orchestral textures.
Orchestral?
I mean, it was very dramatic, right?
Like, I could've seen it as a Disney movie.
Thing.
Tournament or tournament?
Emotionally charged.
Tournament.
I always say tournament.
Tournament.
Terminant.
Speaking of language, I don't speak
It would-
Spanish.
it-
However,
I can
though,
see
I can
it
tell you
from,
that the thematic,
Los
I guess,
Compañía
overtone
Disney.
of the
You're not
song
giving
was-
yourself enough credit. 300 to 400 plus day street guy on Duolingo.
It is a
in
song
quotes.
about toxic relationships,
Tournament or
disillusionment,
tournament?
and empowerment through exposure.
I
If
always
you
say
haven't heard it, you definitely need to go and check that joint out. It is an
Terminant.
absolute banger. As far as other bangers, though, I can tell you this week, my algorithm has been locked in to the new
You're not
Wale
giving yourself
album.
enough
Everything is a
credit.
lot
3
because
to 400
I
plus
love
day
Wale.
street guy on
Local.
Duolingo.
Everything.
Local boy.
is a lot, Wale. You
It's
definitely
quotes.
hit the nail on the fucking head with that one. Cause, ooh, boy, is it a lot? It has
I
been a
will
lot
say,
this
my
week, and it
Wale-
has been a long time without Wale.
My Wale exposure is the mixtape about
Other
nothing.
bangers, though.
Also, like the album where Lotus Flower Bomb is on.
Has been locked in.
I don't remember which album that is on, but I can tell you as far as
I love
this
Wale.
album goes,
Local.
you can definitely
Local
start
boy.
with Where to Start. That is a banger. That is the title of a track on the album, by the way, if you weren't
Is it the first
following
track
people.
on
It
the
is
album?
Not.
My
No, Where to
Wale
Start is not the
exposure
first
is
track
mixtape
on the
about
album.
nothing.
That's actually Conundrum, which is another.
And,
I mean, listen, if you
also,
don't know
like,
what to
the
expect
album
from
where Lotus
Wale,
Flower Bomb is on.
then you might as well sit down and get familiar, right? Because this is definitely a lot more of the same, and I don't mean that in a bad way, right? Like, this is very much Wale back at it being...
In his bag.
Yeah, in his bag being... It's
it the
definitely
first
Wale
track
back in
on
his
the
bag,
album?
right? Like, I mean, we get, that deep, introspective Wale, right? But still with that that charisma and that charm. A lot of, and not to take unnecessary shots, but what I feel like Drake was aiming for, right? And it's kind of weird. I bring that up, right? Because it's been a while since we've gotten some Wale, right? Like, and you
I
know,
always
with,
love when Wale pops up on the scene.
with, you know, Drake being out of the paint and not occupying that space that I feel like Wale, sits in so nicely. Pause.
If you don't know what to expect from Wale,
Get it together.
Like
Get it
the
together.
Pretty Boy Club Banger.
Yeah, kind of, right? Like the R&B track, the tracks for the ladies, kind of, and not even necessarily so that this is mostly tracks for the ladies, right? Because a lot of this shit is Wale talking about how he's no good in relationships. It's definitely not something women want to hear right now, as we alluded to earlier in the opening Chiron, right? But hey, listen, I was not disappointed in this shit at all. Nor was I disappointed in this little gem that I stumbled upon this week, Split by House and Home. I don't know if you've ever heard House, Home, and Sun.
We've gotten some
Sun title. I don't know if you've ever heard of Wale before. It's a little indie punk rock band, or I guess I would call it indie punk rock band. It just, if you haven't, I would definitely go check it out. I started with the track Cellophane, right, and that one got me hooked.
How many followers they got?
Stumbled down a rabbit hole from there.
Like
well, this
the Pretty Boy Club
EP
Banger
came out in 2024, the one that I was listening to. They just dropped a new EP, I Won't Look For You, so they're still out here dropping new music. I'm looking at this right, it says they've only got 882 subscribers on YouTube Music.
Well,
so.
Sounds like we have somebody we can reach out to for an interview.
I mean, possibly. Listen, listeners, if you've heard of House and Home, let us know what you think of them. If not, go ahead and check us out, or check them out after you finish checking this out, and let us know in the comments of this video what you think about them. Go ahead and hit them up and tell them where you found them, and
Which is
maybe
from us.
they'll reach out to us. Maybe, if I can actually learn how to talk this week.
They're a punk band. They don't know how to talk either. And if you're a billionaire, you don't have to know how to spell either. So, whatever.
Little gem that
Well, I haven't been listening to anything in particular. I have found a YouTube rabbit hole I've dove down. So, have you ever seen Armored MMA?
Bro, I fucking love Armored MMA. It is
so fantastic.
It's such oddball shit.
It has all of the pomp and circumstance of like professional wrestling. How many followers they got?
It's one of those things when like you stumble upon it on YouTube and you go like, oh yes, this is what YouTube is for.
Like, it's both as epic as you imagine it and as like disappointing as you imagine it all at once.
It's like one of those things.
Sometimes there are some really epic fights, and then other times two guys are just holding a sword and they're like turning 90 degrees at a time.
It is definitely something that either would have like early 2000s would have either been on Spike TV or G4 TV.
I love that it's in an octagon. So much.
Yeah, caged ring.
The fact that it's in a straight up octagon, they don't try to repurpose it or anything. Like, I was watching one.
I feel like the only other place that it could be held is like in a fucking barn somewhere, right? Like, it would have to be like in a stable yard.
But they still have the same like canvas mat and everything.
Yeah,
I watched one where a guy's axe
is from
fell right
us.
through the mat.
Could you imagine that on the White House lawn? Could you imagine that on the White
I
House
would much
lawn?
rather watch
They're a punk band.
two
They don't know how
guys
to
in
talk
their
either.
30s holding a shield and sword trying to fight each
if you're
other.
a billionaire, you
On the
don't
White
have
House
to know
lawn
how
than
to
an
spell
actual
either.
UFC
So,
fight.
just
Because let's
like,
not
watch it,
forget,
whatever.
let's not forget that that's actually happening. That they're having a UFC fight on the White House fucking lawn, on the fucking lawn
well,
of the
I'll
White
just
House.
say
Two
that,
guys are gonna beat the fucking
I
piss
haven't
out of
been
each
listening
other
to anything
in
in
front of the
particular.
fucking
I have found
president
a YouTube
for the
rabbit hole
lulz
I've-
because
Two at a
we're
time. Two at a time.
because-
So
Have you ever
ever
We'll
seen
fight someone.
Armored
No,
MMA?
this has nothing. This definitely doesn't have any allusion to Rome at all.
It is
no,
so fantastic.
No. When was the last time you thought
Such
about the Roman
oddball shit.
Empire?
It has all of the
Literally
pomp
earlier
and
today.
circumstance of like professional
I
wrestling.
watch a lot of YouTube video
It's one of
essays,
those things when,
and a
like,
lot of
you
YouTube video essays are about
About
the
the
Roman
Roman
Empire.
Empire.
This is what YouTube is.
I've watched
Like,
serious
it's
Roman
both
Empire YouTube
as
video essays.
epic as you
I've watched
imagine
sarcastic
it,
YouTube video
and
essays on the
as
Roman
like
I've watched
disappointing
overly
as you
sarcastic
imagine it all
productions
at
YouTube
once.
video
It's
essay
like-
on
like,
the Roman
sometimes
Empire, which
there
is
are
an
some
entire
really
3
epic
hours
fights,
long,
and then
by
other
the way.
times two guys are
One of
just
my
holding a
favorites.
sword,
But
and
I've
they're,
also
like,
seen
turning
some
90
Nat
degrees
Geo
at a time.
documentaries on the
It is
Roman Empire,
definitely
seen some
something
History
that
Channel
we could
documentaries
do
on the Roman
early
Empire.
circa
I've
early
seen historical
2000s,
comparatives
either
to the
the
Roman Empire. I've seen how the Roman Empire inspired following
I love that it's in
empires,
an octagon,
including
much.
the Third Reich, which is something I've also been researching a lot because,
The
you
fact that
know,
it's in a straight up
relevant.
octagon.
Yeah,
They
speaking
don't try to
of-
repurpose it or
speaking-
anything. Like, I was
I've been
watching
playing
one.
a lot of
I think the only
Wolfenstein
other
lately
place that it
for
could be held
no
is, like,
reason
in a-
other
in a
than
barn
it's just a
somewhere.
great
It feels
game.
good to kill Nazis.
It, no,
would have to
I'm
be, like, in a
listen.
stable.
No Fed posting.
But they still
as a
have
matter
the
of-
same, like, canvas
while
mats
playing
and
the
everything.
game,
I watched
right?
one where a guy
In a
had
way
axe
to
cut
try
right through
and
the
maintain
mat.
my daughter's
Could you
innocence,
imagine
who
that
I
on the
thought
White
was
House
on her
lawn?
tablet while I was playing the
you-
game, but was not,
could you imagine
because
that
how
on
could
the
you
White House
ignore
lawn?
rather watch
him? How
two
could you
guys in
ignore
their
the
30s
way the
holding a
Nazis
shield
get put
and sword
down
trying to fight each
in
other.
that game?
on the White House lawn than an actual UFC
Yeah.
I mean,
fight.
what's his name?
Because
BJ
let's not
Blazkowicz,
forget-
right?
let's not
The
forget
way
that
BJ
that's
just
actually
be,
happening.
you know,
that they're having a
manhandle,
UFC
as you
fight
should, right?
on the
'Cause
White
fuck
House
Nazis.
fucking
Yeah,
lawn,
right,
on the
but
fucking lawn
anyway,
of the White
to
House.
maintain
two
my
guys are gonna
daughter's
beat the
innocence, when she
fucking piss
asked me
out of each other
what,
in front of the
our
fucking
good friend
president
BJ
for the
was
laws
up to.
because
Well,
what
we're
he was up to. I told her that he
Because
was
it's gonna have multiple
helping them
fights
take
on it.
naps.
No,
right?
this has
Because it's
nothing-
still like the
Helping-
big.
helping who take that?
definitely
The
doesn't
the
have
Nazis.
any
The Nazis.
The
allusion
Nazis.
to Rome at
The
all.
Nazis.
No.
What did she ask
When
after
was
that?
the last
though?
time you thought about the Roman Empire?
She goes,
Literally earlier today.
"What's a Nazi?" So then I had
watch
to
a lot
explain
of
to her
YouTube
that they were
video
evil
essays. You were
people.
caught between a rock and a hard
A lot
place.
of
You either
YouTube
have to
video
explain
essays
death
are about the
or
Roman
Nazis.
Empire.
Well,
neither one's fun.
I mean,
I've
I just
watched
told her they
serious
were
Roman Empire
evil
YouTube
people
video
that were
essays.
grumpy
I've
and
watched
needed to take
sarcastic
naps.
YouTube video essays
Right,
on
so
the
we were helping them
I've watched
take
overly
naps because it was still the
sarcastic
beginning of the
productions
game where you
YouTube
have to
video
like
essay on
sneak
the
past
Roman
all the
Empire,
guards
which
and
is
stuff.
an
So,
so you're just slitting their throat. by the
well,
way.
I mean, you're
One of
kind
my
of like
favorites.
unplugging
But I've
them
also
because they're
seen
like the
some
big
Nat
hulked
Geo
out ones
documentaries
that are
on
like
the Roman
plugged.
Empire.
Anyway,
Seen some History
Um,
Channel
This is
documentaries
like the
on the
steampunk
Roman
wolf.
Empire.
yeah,
I've seen
I'm
historical comparatives to the Roman Empire.
contemplating
I've seen how the Roman
running some
Empire
gameplay
inspired
on
following
YouTube
empires,
for it, just because it would
including
be fun
the Third
and
Reich,
funny
which is
to
something
see
I've also
how
been
long it
researching
takes
a lot
for
because you
me to
know
get flagged in Trump's
relevant.
America
Yeah,
for playing a politically
speaking-
violent game.
Wild Black.
I've been playing a lot of Wolfenstein.
Wild Black for extra season.
It's just a great
feels
Playing
good
a
to kill
politically
Nazis.
charged game Wild Black.
Listen,
Yeah.
no
For
Fed
extra
posting.
And on that note,
Matter
we're gonna take a
While
quick break
playing
and
the
get
game,
back to you
right,
guys
in a
with
way
some more
to try
political
and
hot
maintain
takes
my
and
daughter's
pop
innocence,
culture
who I thought
updates.
was on her tablet while I was playing the game, but
Right.
was not, because how could you ignore him? How could you ignore the way the Nazis get put down in that game?
And we back. And we back.
I mean, what's his name?
And we
BJ
back,
Blazkowicz?
and we back,
Right,
and we
the
back.
way
And
BJ
speaking
just,
of being back in
as
the
you should,
zeitgeist,
like,
back
fuck
in the
Nazis. Yeah, right,
cultural
but
discussion, making
anyway,
some noise.
maintain my daughter's innocence.
Being Eddie,
She asked me
The
what,
Eddie Murphy documentary
our
dropped
different
this week
views
on
of
Netflix, and I have not watched it yet, but it has definitely been a part
helping
of
them
the
take
trending
naps,
discussion
right? Because
on
it's still
all
like
the
helping-
social
helping
media
who take naps?
platforms.
The Nazis.
I've been seeing some
The
good
Nazis.
things about it. What I wanted
what
to
did she
talk
ask after
about,
that, Doc?
since we're talking Eddie Murphy, right? Is somebody with such a lengthy and storied
That I had to
filmography.
explain
I
to
mean,
her.
somebody who's been
You
like
were caught
acting
between a
and
rock
been
and
in
a hard
almost
place.
as
You
many
either have to
things
explain
as
death
like
or
Samuel L.
Nazis.
Jackson.
Well,
I mean,
neither
like,
one's fun.
like
I mean,
Eddie Murphy,
I just
as we
told
were
her
talking
they were
off
evil
mic,
people that
is
were
literally
needed
like
to take
the
naps.
Michael Jordan
Right,
of
so
comedy.
we're helping
It's like
them.
this guy is the
Because it was
pinnacle
still the beginning of the
of
game where
what
you had
you
to,
would
like,
like
sneak
from
past
stand
all
up
the guards and
to
Oh, so you're
like
just slitting their throat.
megastar.
Well, I mean, you're
right,
kinda
like Eddie Murphy
unplugging them
has
because they're, like,
practically basically done it all. He's written for
Oh yeah.
SNL.
So this is like
He's
the
got
steampunk
2
book.
absolutely
I'm
classic stand-up
contemplating
films.
running some gameplay
And
on
I just, what is your favorite piece of Eddie Murphy content?
I don't know. Just kind of seems like one of Adam Sandler's friends.
For playing a politically violent game.
That
All black.
I feel like the way you are saying that is
For
absolutely
extra
to be
season.
contrary. Like I
playing a
get
politically
that
charged
now.
game
I'm gonna
while black.
allow you to make the argument you were making off mic to save face here because you know good and goddamn well. You know good and goddamn well if the comedy group chat got a hold of that. You would be
I don't know.
Absolutely
I think Eddie
flayed.
Murphy is just kind of one of Adam Sandler's friends.
You would be absolutely flayed.
or the horse? As I was saying off mic,
And we
for
back.
me, I remember
back.
Eddie Murphy from like
We back at
Haunted
you,
Mansion, and
being
That's
back
wild.
in-
That's egregious. I feel like that's just
Like,
that's an
being
insane
donkey
violation.
in Shrek.
That's
Like, this
okay.
Is the type of
That's
shit
okay.
I remember him
I
for.
feel like if your first exposure to Eddie Murphy,
And
pause,
I have not
was
watched it yet, but it is definitely
as Donkey
been
in
part
Shrek,
of the trending discussion on-
I'm okay with that, right? Because that's not a bad role. That's not a bad place
Let me,
to
so,
discover
look,
Eddie
when
Murphy.
I think of Eddie Murphy, I don't think of 1980s Eddie Murphy in the Michael Jackson Red Left. I think of like 2006.
storied filmography.
Should be wearing glasses, but is wearing contacts because he doesn't want to admit that he doesn't see that well and still looks reasonably decent with glasses. In Haunted Mansion, Eddie Murray.
Murray, Eddie Murray.
God! All right,
That's what I'm saying. You're making it sound like you have more
this is
reservation.
confusing. This is confusing.
You make
'cause
it
there is
sound
a
like you
Baltimore
have-
Oriole retired Hall of Fame
Oh my
player
God,
named
what the
Eddie
fuck?
Murray.
If you don't get your fucking ADHD brain together, you make it sound like you have more reservation in your headspace for Bill Murray than you do for Eddie Murphy, and that's crazy, right? Because Eddie Murphy has given us such classics as
Bill Murray,
Vampire in
Eddie
Brooklyn,
Murray,
Like one of
Eddie
Adam
Murray.
Sandler's
It's
friends.
confusing.
Boomerang, 48 Hours, Harlem Nights. I mean, come on, Life. What are we talking about here? Coming to the original Coming to America. But
Out of curiosity, look up how many movies Eddie Murphy and Adam Sandler have done.
You know
I know
good
it's
and
one.
goddamn well.
I don't
Actually,
even.
I'm
Goddamn
fairly
well,
certain
the comedy
it's
group chat got a hold of that.
at least
I don't know.
6.
Absolutely
I think
played.
Eddie Murphy is just kind of one of Adam Sandler's friends.
I'm not gonna hold you. I'm looking at Eddie Murphy's filmography.
But
As
yeah,
I was
like
saying off mic,
for me, like Eddie Murphy.
I remember
was,
Eddie Murphy from like
when I
Haunted
became
Mansion,
culturally
and
aware, he
that's
was already
wild.
in his like
That's egregious.
family
I feel like
movie
that's
element,
just-
like
that's a-
like
crazy.
I'm
Being
voice
donkey
acting
for
for
Shrek.
Donkey.
That's
This
okay.
is
I'm
the
doing
type of
Dr.
shit I
Dolittle
remember him
I
for.
feel like if your first
doing
exposure
Norbit.
to Eddie Murphy,
Bro, I'm really gonna need you to like
was-
lock in and do
Like,
like,
I didn't
Eddie.
see coming in,
Shrek.
I didn't see Coming to America until I
I'm
was
okay
like
with that, right? Because that's
16.
Not a bad role.
Yeah, that's
not a
wild.
bad
Like I said,
role.
I'm gonna need you to
So,
lock
look,
in because
when
you're
I
missing
think of
out
Eddie
on
Murphy, I
so
don't
much.
think
I'm
of
not saying you need to go
1980s
watch.
Eddie
I mean, you've
Murphy
seen
in
You
the Michael
People, right?
Jackson
Like,
Red
but
Left.
was that because Jonah Hill was in it? I don't understand.
2006.
I'm not saying you need to go see
Actually,
Joel
the
Mike.
biggest- the biggest
but
box
he's
office
wearing
draw for me
contacts
for that
'cause
was
he doesn't
Julia
want to
Louis
admit that he doesn't see that well and still.
I mean, you should definitely go watch Beverly Hills Cop.
In Haunted Mansion,
Uh,
Eddie Murray.
If
Murphy.
you've seen
Eddie
1,000
Murphy.
Words
Did
or
you see the
Tower
new
Heist,
Beverly
I'm
Hills Cop?
sorry.
Apparently there was a new one.
Yeah, no, we watched that. Axel left.
It's
It was good.
confusing.
And it was fucking Eddie
confusing.
Murphy. I don't know
There's
how
a
else to
Baltimore
explain it to you,
Oriole
right? Like the
retired
shit
Hall
was
of
just
Fame player
Eddie
named
Murphy
Eddie
is good when
Murray.
he's doing his
You don't
thing.
get
Even
your fucking
Norbit
ADHD
was
brain together.
tolerable
You make it sound
for
like you
a
have more
bad movie,
reservation
right?
in
And
your
Norbit
headspace for
is,
Bill Murray
by
than you do
definition,
for
a
Eddie
bad
Murphy,
movie.
and that's
Okay,
crazy,
But-
now
right?
let's take
Because
Eddie Murphy's bad
has given
movie
us
and
such
compare it to
classics.
another
Bill Murray,
comedian
Eddie
of this
Murphy,
generation's
Eddie
bad
Murray.
movie.
It's confusing.
David
Boomerang,
Spade,
48
Dickie
Hours,
Roberts'
Harlem
former
Nights.
child star.
Absolutely no.
Like,
I will watch
what
The
are we
Adventures
talking
of
about
Pluto
here?
Nash
Coming to the original
fucking till my
Coming to
face
America.
turns blue
Out of-
before
out of
I watch
curiosity-
Dickie
out of
Roberts. Are you
curiosity,
kidding
look
me?
up how
I
many
Spy
movies
with Owen
Eddie
Wilson?
Murphy
Yes,
and Adam
absolutely.
Sandler have done together.
They're enjoyable.
Because I know
We're
it's
talking about the guy who gave us the PJs
Actually, I'm
and
fairly
Showtime
certain
with
it's-
Robert De Niro. Like,
Okay. I forgot about Showtime. Those movies are fucking great.
holy man!
looking
I
at
mean,
Eddie Murphy.
Mushu and Mulan. Like, are you kidding me? Like, Eddie
yeah,
Murphy
like,
is a fucking
for
comedic
me,
genius, and you're being disrespectful.
Murphy
and I will not.
was-
Is Rush Hour
like
a
when
better
I became
movie or a
culturally
worse
aware,
movie
He
if
was
it's
already
made
in his like
10 years earlier
family
and
movie
with
element. Like
Eddie
I'm
Murphy instead
voice
of Chris
acting
Tucker?
For Donkey.
So Rush Hour
I'm
1
doing
would be
Dr.
like
Doolittle 2.
92.
Doing Norbit.
91, 92.
Bro, I'm really gonna
91,
lock
91,
in
91.
into,
Like, I didn't
Eddie,
see coming to America until I
mean-
was like 16.
Yeah, that's wild. Like I said, I'm gonna need you
listen,
to lock in. 'cause
I think
you
it's a
missing
worse
out
movie.
on so much. I'm not saying you need to go.
I
watch,
just feel like if
Kid.
And I'm
you're
gonna give Eddie kudos here. I think
Right?
Eddie
Like,
is too
was
cool
that because Jonah Hill was in it? I
to
don't
pull that
understand.
off. Like,
I'm not
Eddie,
saying you need to go. see
actually,
I'm not
the
saying
biggest-
you
the
have to
biggest
watch
box office
all of
draw
that
for me
shit.
for that was Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I feel like to really play that foil off of Jackie Chan, you need to have somebody who's like
If you've seen 1,000 words,
Did you see the new Beverly Hills Cop?
confident,
Apparently there was a
but
new one.
blatantly
No, we watched it.
incompetent.
Axel F, it was good, man.
And that
it was
Chris
fucking
Tucker
Eddie
does
Murphy.
that
I don't
very
know
well.
how else to explain
all
it
I'm
to you,
saying
right? Like,
is
it
if
just-
your
Eddie Murphy is
only
good when he's
real
doing his
exposure
thing.
to Eddie Murphy
Norbit
is like
was
Meet Dave or
tolerable
Imagine
for a
That, then
bad
you might
movie.
you
Norbit
you're really
is,
missing out,
by
right? Like
definition,
especially because like
Oh,
his
oh,
performances.
okay,
but
so
now-
let's take Eddie Murphy's bad movie and compare it to another comedian of his generation's
Hey,
bad
don't
movie.
sleep on Eddie Murphy's
David
little
Spade,
musical. That
Dickie
like
Roberts'
that
former
bullshit
child
R&B
star.
song he did with
I will
Snoop
watch
Lion
The
is
Adventures of
that
Pluto Nash
once again.
fucking till
Like,
my
because
face
Desdemona,
hurts before I watch
listen,
I can't
Eddie
remember.
got some fire,
I
right?
can't
Like,
remember who said it, but they were like,
yes, absolutely.
Eddie Murphy got to the
they're
point of
enjoyable.
fame where he was
We're
like,
talking about
I'm
the
gonna
guy
do music.
who gave
And
us
everybody around him was like, yeah, man, fuck it. You can
Showtime
do
with
music.
Robert
Just
De
go
Niro.
for it.
everybody
Okay,
loves it
okay.
when
I forgot
certain
about
celebrities
Showtime.
go on like
Those
side
movies are
missions and shit
fucking
like that.
great.
Like T-Pain is literally on his side mission run right now, but when Eddie did it,
Marshawn Lynch. All we
people.
want is he's just doing side quests now.
But when Eddie did it, people call
Is
him
Rush
pretentious,
Hour
for it, right?
a
Like
better
Eddie is just
movie
making
or a worse
movies to be
movie
making
if it's
movies. If it
made
sound goofy
10
enough, he
years
might do
earlier
it, right? But
and with
he's also out here doing shit like
Eddie Murphy
Dreamgirls.
instead I of Chris
think
Tucker.
Right.
Adam Sandler, the best thing he did for his PR was just making it
So Rush
out in the
Hour
open.
1 would be
yeah, I
like
make movies to go on vacation and hang out with my friends and family.
91, 92.
91,
And I'm like,
91.
All right, that explains all of the shitty movies on Netflix. Get it?
I am definitely looking forward to watching
I think
Being
it's a worse
Eddie,
movie.
just for the trip down memory lane, but also because it'll be
And I'm gonna give
interesting to
Eddie
get a
kudos here. I
candid
think
look
Eddie is
through
too cool
and reminiscing
pull
from
that off.
Eddie
Like, Eddie-
himself about a lot of these moments and just the trip from SNL, to being where he is now. Right. So if you guys check that out, let us know how you felt about it. Tell us some of your favorite moments in the documentary. Also, check back in with us to see how we felt about it after we watched it. Also dropping soon or announced, right? I don't know when it's dropping, but a Michael Jackson
I did see this. A Michael Jackson biopic
has been announced, and that'll be interesting to see how it'll be covered and portrayed.
You're really
What
missing it,
exactly
right? Like, especially because, like,
narrative
there's a
liberties
song,
they're going to take with the Michael Jackson story, how we're going to approach certain topics.
I am waiting for the
Don't sleep on
Threads
Eddie
whiteface
Murphy's,
controversy to
little
happen.
musical. That bullshit R&B song he did with Snoop Lion.
Speaking of
is-
controversy,
Once
Disney
again,
is in a bit
like,
of
because
heat
Desdemona-
this week after
Eddie got some fire.
CEO
I
Bob
ain't remember
Iger
who said it,
announced
But they were like,
that Disney
Eddie Murphy
could
got to the point of fame where he
soon
was
let
like,
subscribers
I'm gonna do music.
generate their
Everybody
own
around him was
AI
like, yeah, man,
content
fuck it. You can
in
do
short
music,
form
just go
feature
it.
for
Everybody
the
loves
platform.
Loves it
Great.
when,
Yeah,
certain
I mean,
celebrities
no,
go
it's
on,
already
side missions and shit
who
like that.
who
Like,
is the
T-Pain
what's
literally
the
on his
show the
side
dude
mission run
is
right
from
now, but when Eddie
Owl
did it,
Marshawn Lynch.
or
All we want
something
is
like that.
these
One of
two
the
doing
shows
side
that
quests.
is
But
very
when Eddie
popular.
did
Owl
it,
House. I
people-
remember.
Owl
You're
House,
saying
yeah.
fuck.
Right, like, Eddie
They're
was
like
just
fuck
making
Disney.
movies
Pirate
to make
Owl
movies
House.
Yeah,
sound
pick up a
goofy.
pencil or die. I quote
Also out
were
here
his
doing shit like
words.
Dreamgirls.
I think
Because,
Adam
like,
Sandler,
yeah,
the best thing he
obviously
did for
the
his
push
PR was just
to
making
just
it
farm
out in the open.
content
Yeah, I make
from
movies to go
people
on
submitting to
vacation and hang out with my friends and
the
family.
what
I'm
do we
like,
call this? The hype, the AI
right,
hype,
that
right?
explains all of the shitty
And
movies on
it's
Netflix.
just
Get
it's
it.
more of that trick that
I am
Timberland used,
definitely
right,
looking
where
forward
he
to
tricked
watching,
people into giving
Being
him
Eddie,
access to
just
their
for
songs
the
in
trip down
order
memory
to
lane, but also
critique
because,
their
it'll be
production
interesting to
style
get
and
a
teach
Or
them tips.
Pokemon Go using it
and
to make
reminiscing
the world's most accurate micro geo map.
Yeah. So, here we have, again, another powerful corporation abusing its power in ways that are making people kind of really stop and say, maybe it's actually time, right? We did it with the whole Jimmy Kimmel thing, and the subscriber drop-off rate was sharp enough to make Disney go.
Subscribe to Disney Plus.
I don't have to because it's bundled into my cell phone.
A Michael
plan.
Jackson
but-
biopic. I already finished the new season of King of the Hill.
People were seriously considering boycotting Disney Plus over previous decisions that they were making, and I don't think that this
you were
is.
brought in to fix the problem.
I don't think this is a good look. This is not a good look. People are
I am waiting
so
for the
against
Threads
AI
whiteface controversy to
that
happen.
for more than one reason, they are actually reveling in what was announced as the return of the king, the originator, the fucking icon that was on top of the game before TikTok, before X. It was, well, not before X. Well, yeah, I guess before X, but not before Twitter.
Oh, I know
There
what this is about.
was the Vine. And we mean the D-Vine, baby, because that's how it's back. The rebrand announced
Is it live on the
with
on
the
App Store?
partnerships. So they're running a beta test
Owl
right
House,
now, which I
remember. They're saying,
believe
fuck,
the
they're
server
like,
for
fuck
is
Disney,
filled.
Pirate Owl House.
Pick up a
Diddy.
pencil.
So if you were lucky
die.
enough to get in on the ground floor of the test run for the beta of the new Divine app, then you were one of the few who get access to what I believe is over 10,000 hours of
100,000 archived files.
100,000 archived files, which is a lot considering they're all like, I don't know what,
7
15
seconds or less.
7 seconds or less. Didn't they get up to a minute at the end of Vine?
No, and I
using
think
it
I
to make
really hope the world's
they
most
stick
accurate
to
micro geo map max cap, because I know like TikTok you can go to 10 minutes now or something.
Yeah, no, but
Vine, the thing that made Vine awesome is that it was an app for trash. You can't tell a huge story in 7 seconds.
which it's so funny that you said that because it really did perfect like brain rot. Like what Vine did to the attention span, no.
Tried to pretend that it wasn't.
No, yeah. What Vine did to the attention span was absolutely visceral. Dog, it was surgical the way Vine dismantled people's fucking senses of humor. Dude, like, I don't think you understand. Like, your brain isn't really wired to process stuff in 7 seconds or less. So, before you could even, like, logically process why that was funny and like properly react to it, it was already on to the next video, so you had to go back. So then we get stuck in this Pavlovian loop of rewatching a video in order to understand why it's supposed to be funny, and that's just that's crazy psychology. 1, 2. Also, the human ability to adapt to being funny in under 7 seconds or less should also be studied because it branched a whole new version of comedy, right? Like that broke people's fucking brains.
I
Like
don't remember his name, but that
is.
Asian guy on Vine, who was like the master of Vine.
Vine was the festering sore that became the brain rot, right?
Like, no, you know what I'm talking about? That one
if you
Asian
were
guy
lucky
who
enough
do
to
like
get in on the ground
crazy
front
like
of
editing
Vine.
tricks on Vine and make it like look like he would
one more time,
jump up in the air and kick like
on the ground
he would like
floor
throw a bunch
of
of clothes in
the
the
test
air
run
and then jump
for
up and kick all of the clothes.
Yeah.
And then the clothes would like fall over, completely folded.
Oh, dude, you just made me think about TikTok transitions, right? Like all those fashion transition trends and stuff that they do on TikTok, like the fit checks and shit. I mean, yeah, like all that shit originated on TikTok. Literally was just a supplement for not having Vine anymore.
I don't know what.
Like we can admit
or less.
that, right? It started off as like a combination of Musically and some other fucking app that nobody even remembers.
Was it Snapchat?
None of these things are profitable. And
cap. 'Cause I
what
know, like,
killed
TikTok,
Vine
you
is
can go
the
to
same
10
thing
minutes
that
now or
will
something.
kill
Yeah,
the
no,
AI
but
bubble and
Vine,
destroy the
the thing that
economy
made Vine
is
awesome
speculation
is that
and
it
the hope
was
that these
an
things will
app
eventually
for
generate a
trash.
profit.
You can't
As
tell
of right
a
now,
huge story in
OpenAI
7 seconds.
is
It's
on
so
track
funny that
to
you said that
actually
because
make a
it
profit
really did
in
propel
2030.
my brain.
They think.
You think there's somebody in
what
the
Vine
NVIDIA
did to the
boardroom who's
attention
just sitting
span,
there in a
no.
board meeting, like, pretend that it was, who's
No,
been
yeah,
there for a
what
long
Vine
time,
did
just
to
like,
the
I just
attention
wanted to
span
make
was
CSGO run
absolutely
without
visceral.
any lag.
Dog, it was
I think Nvidia. What's funny about that is Nvidia, I think, is the only one who does make a profit, right? Like the rest of them are run on
Like your
speculation.
brain
Nvidia
is really
is the manufacturer
wired to
of the chips that are
process stuff
necessary.
in 7
Which is why I
seconds.
said, yeah.
So,
but anyway,
before
and
you
it's the
could
same
even,
problem
like,
that a lot
logically
of social media
process
apps have. That's why
why that
Meta
was funny
had to branch
and, like,
off and become
properly
Meta,
react
right?
to
Like
it.
Facebook in
it was
itself
already
is
on
not
to the next video,
sustainable,
so you had to
right?
go
It
back.
is
So then we
run
get
off of
stuck
user
in
data,
that
which we can
Logan
admit
loop
now because
of
we're adults and we
rewatching a
know
video in
why
order to
social media
understand
is
why
alive,
it's
right?
like,
It is
supposed to
to
be funny.
farm data for
And
advertisement
that's
in
just-
its
that's
most
crazy.
innocent form.
Psychology.
In its most
One.
innocent
Two.
form.
In its most
Also,
innocent form.
The human ability
however,
to adapt to being funny
one of
in
the
under
things that
7
I am
seconds
excited
or
about
less should also be studied
when it comes
because
to the
it branched
return
a whole
of
new version
Vine
of comedy,
is
right?
allegedly
Like, that broke people's fucking
all
brains.
AI generated content
With
will
that
be banned
Asian
and
guy
discouraged
on
by the ad.
Fantastic. He was like
Which
the
is great
master of
when you
Vine.
look at the contrast that
Vine
is
was
currently
the
happening
best
over on
that
TikTok, and that's not
became
even
the brain.
considering the
Right.
acquisition
You know what I'm
of
talking about?
such,
That one
right?
Asian guy
Where
who do, like,
I forget who
crazy,
the dude
like,
is, but
editing
it's
tricks
all
on
of
Vine
it
and make like,
is
the name I hear attached to the Divine Project is none other
Jump up
than
in the
Jack
air and
Dorsey.
Yeah, yes,
like,
Jack Dorsey is
throw a bunch
behind
of
the
clothes in the
revival
air
of
and
Vine.
jump up and
What I'm
kick
saying
all
is
of the
I
clothes.
forget
And then
who
the
it
clothes
was
like,
that
all over, completely folded.
joined
Oh,
in
dude,
the
you just
purchase
made me think
of
about
TikTok to keep it
transitions,
functioning
right?
in the
Like all those
United
fashion
States, but
transition
all of
trends
it
and stuff that
is
they
One of
do
the
on
El-
TikTok, like
a member of the
checks and
Ellison
shit.
family.
yeah,
I mean,
all
yeah,
of
like,
it
all that
is
shit
signaling
originated on
Israel U.S.
TikTok,
propaganda
literally.
high tech.
was just
Oh, we haven't
a
even gotten to the
supplement
Epstein
for not
stuff.
having
No,
Vine.
no, we have not.
Like,
No,
we can
because
admit
we are
right?
we're talking about
it
good
started
things,
off as like a
fun
combination
things,
of Musical.ly
memorable
and
things,
some other fucking
things
app
that
that I
remind
don't
us
even
that we
know
used to
about.
be a
Was it
society
Snapchat?
and we used to be a proper country
I-
with a proper culture.
none
And
of these
speaking
things
of
are proper.
proper culture,
And
Paul
what
Walker's
killed Vine is the same thing
Eva
that will kill
from
the
Too Fast, Too
AI
Furious
bubble
is
and
up for
destroy
auction.
the economy.
Now, I don't know.
Speculation.
We just had to
and
give
the
you,
hope that
cultural
these things will eventually generate a profit.
lesson,
As of right now,
cultural
OpenAI,
101, a crash
is
course on
on
Eddie
track
Murphy,
to
if you will.
actually
So
make
I know what an Evo
I
is.
know also,
You think
I know
there's
crash
somebody
course
in
is a
the
poor
NVIDIA
choice of
boardroom
words when
who's just
talking
sitting
about
there.
Paul
No,
Walker.
It's the perfect choice
there
of
for a
words.
long
In
time.
cars.
Just like, I just
Um,
wanted to make CS:GO
but
run.
Paul
without
Walker's
any
Evo
lag.
from Too Fast, Too
I
Furious
think
is up for
Nvidia.
sale.
And what's funny about
You want
that
to know
is
what's crazy?
Nvidia,
The
I think,
last
is
Fast and
only
the Furious
one who
movie I
does
watched
make a
that
profit,
wasn't
right?
Tokyo
Like,
Drift,
The rest
I
of
think,
them are run on speculation.
was Fast and Furious.
Nvidia is
2.
the manufacturer,
And
of
that
the
was
chips
when the
and
guy was
everything.
racing
which
the
is why I
Jetta.
said, yeah.
You said Fast and the
but
Furious
anyway,
too?
And
Yeah.
it's the
That's
same
Too
problem
Fast, Too
that
Furious.
a lot of social
Like,
media
the
apps
one
have.
that
That's
came
why
out forever
Meta
ago?
had
Yes.
to branch off and
That would be
become
the
Meta,
same
right? Like,
Fast and the
Facebook
Furious
in
with
itself
the
is not
infamous
sustainable,
Evo that we are
right?
speaking
It
of.
is run
Right,
off of
and
user
it is
data,
being
which we
sold
can
by the
admit now
Bonhams
because we're
auction,
adults and we know
and
why
it
social media
is selling
alive,
for
right?
around
It is too far
250,000 to 500,000 euros, which is around 295 to $581,000 American, according to Hot Cars. Easily
however,
one of the most recognizable vehicles
the
in the
things that I am
franchise,
excited
according
about
to the Complex magazine article, and
when
also
it comes
according
to
to
the
the Culture
return
Biz, like duh,
of
like
Vine
Too Fast, Too Furious
is
is like
allegedly
arguably the best
all
Fast and the
AI
Furious.
generated.
If
The
we're
one-
not, if not Tokyo Drift.
Fantastic.
right? When you look at the contrast that is currently
I
happening,
mean,
over on
would we
TikTok, and
argue
that's
that
not
it is
even
not
considering
Americana at this
the,
point, right? Like,
acquisition of
Too
such,
Fast, Too
right,
Furious,
where,
I
you
feel
know,
like
I
is
forget
as
who the
classic
dude is, but,
American
you know, all
cinema
of it.
as Gone with the
The
Wind.
name I hear attached to the Divine Project is none other than Jack Dorsey.
Yeah, yes, Jack Dorsey is behind the revival of Vine. What I'm saying is I forget who it was that
All right, so-
joined in the purchase
This
of
reminds
TikTok
me-
to keep it functioning.
Speaking
in
of
the
classic
United States,
Americana,
but all
there was
of
another
it
huge
is
rabbit hole that I
member of
dove
the
down.
Ellison family.
I found
all
this
of it
great
is
video
signaling
of
Israel
a guy
U.S.
named, I think it's
propaganda
Jacob
high tech.
Geller. Oh, we haven't
And
even gotten to the Epstein stuff.
It's like an hour-long
No,
video
we have not. No, because
saying,
we're talking about
why
good
did
things,
Indiana
fun
Jones
things,
devote his
memorable
life
things,
to Christ?
things that remind us that we used to be a society. We
I mean-
used to be a proper country with a proper culture. And speaking
I feel
of
like
proper culture,
now some of my
Paul Walker.
close friends might,
Eva,
you know,
from Too Fast,
have
Too Furious,
a problem
so.
with this take that I'm
Now,
about to
I don't
have,
know.
right? But
We just had to give you, you know,
after you see
cultural-
some of the shit that Indiana Jones saw,
lesson,
right? And I'm not even talking like
cultural
Crystal
101,
Skull
crash
shit,
course
right?
on
Like,
Eddie Murphy.
didn't he see
So-
I know
the
what
dude
an
get his
Evo
like
is.
heart ripped out of his
also-
chest?
I know,
and that was
but-
the guy's whole point. He was like, you literally saw
it's the perfect biblically
It's the
described
perfect
Ark
choice
of
of
the
words.
Covenant.
Oh yeah, yeah.
and like
But
in the
Paul
Temple
Walker's
of Doom,
Evo
you literally
from Too
got
Fast,
saved
Too
by
Furious is up for
the god
sale.
Shiva
And
by
if
saying that the person
I can find
was
more information.
dishonoring Shiva.
I mean,
God,
so
Shiva's- but, like,
You want to
like
know
at a
what's
certain
crazy?
point,
The last
you'd be
Fast and
like, you
Furious
know
movie
what?
I
Like,
watched that wasn't
maybe
Tokyo
there's something
Drift,
there,
I think.
Indy.
yeah, but also he
Fast
got
and
saved by
Furious
2 different
2.
pantheons
And
of
that was when the
gods,
guy
though,
was
right?
racing
So
the
like,
Jedi.
shouldn't, if anything, that would you feel like that would make him agnostic,
Fast and
right? Because then
Furious
it's like,
2.
Yeah.
okay,
That's Too Fast, Too
I
Furious.
not only did I find
Like the one that came out forever ago.
Yes, that would
This,
be the
like,
same Fast and the
very
Furious with
like
the
architectural
infamous ego
piece
that
of
we were
like
speaking.
Christian
Right,
like
and it is
iconography,
being sold by
right?
Yvonne
But I
Harris
was also
auction,
saved
and
by
it is selling for
Like, no,
another culture's deity.
And the one thing is, like, in
250,000
Last
to
Crusade, they're like,
500,000
he
euros,
walks
which is
in,
around
sees this
295
guy
to
heal a
500,000
gunshot wound by pouring this,
Yeah.
and he sees a
Yeah.
700-year-old
Easily
knight,
one of
and
the
he's
most
just like,
recognizable vehicles in the
That's
well,
what
I guess this is archaeologically sound.
That's but once again, I feel like all of those
Fast and
events
Furious is,
would
like,
make me go,
arguably the best
okay,
Fast and Furious.
maybe
there's
it's
something to this
it's not
Jesus
Tokyo
thing.
no, opposite, the opposite, the exact opposite. I would be like, you know what? Maybe
It is.
Movie's so good.
I should become a pagan because this is a lot. This everything is a lot.
At this point,
Wow,
right?
shout out to Wale.
I feel like
No,
it's-
like yeah, like finding the Ark of the Covenant is
I
one
feel
thing, but
like
you keep
it's
like
as
disregarding the
classic
whole
American
getting
cinema
saved
as
by a
possible.
Shiva thing, right? Like it wasn't Jesus, it wasn't Mother Mary, it was yeah. Thank you. And finding a 700-year-old knight, like yeah, sure, that's
This
pretty
reminds
like
me-
fucking.
Speaking of
That's
classic
pretty
Americana,
rad, right? But
Yeah.
another YouTube
that doesn't
rabbit hole that I
scream
go
Jesus. He might
found
scream
this great
Jesus,
video.
right? But
guy named
All right, the Indiana
Jacob
Jones
Geller.
movies might be a reason for me to turn
And
Disney Plus back on for a
It's
month.
like an hour-long
that's
video
wild.
saying,
I can tell you
why did Indiana
what
Jones devote
might
his life
have you
to
turning
Christ?
Disney Plus back on for a month, and that is visiting George Lucas's Museum of Narrative Art. That's
mean-
right, founded by the legendary Star
feel
Wars
like-
filmmaker George Lucas and his
Now,
wife
it's
Melody
all
Some of
exposition.
my close
will
friends might
open
have
the Museum of
probably
Narrative
seen
Art
them.
on September 22nd, so it's already 2026, right?
After
So
you
it's
see
not
some of the
open
shit
yet.
that Indiana
You can't
Jones
go
saw,
there
right?
yet.
And I'm not even talking
but
like Crystal Skull
the-
shit, right? Like
The facility,
see
dude, is
the dude
a
get, like,
expedition.
heart
It's
ripped
in
out of his
Los
chest?
Angeles'
And that was the guy's
Expedition
whole
Park.
point. He was like, you
It features
literally
new green
saw
spaces and
the
a
biblically
300,000
described Ark
square
of the
foot
Covenant.
building that
Oh,
includes
yeah.
galleries,
And, like,
2 theaters, a
in the Temple of
library,
Doom, you
restaurants,
literally got
cafes,
saved by
retail
the god
stores, and
Shiva
community spaces.
by saying
It
that
sounds like it's going to
person
be a
was
very decent
dishonoring
third
Shiva.
space,
I
right?
got Shiva's,
Which
but,
is
like,
super
at a
dope
certain
because we
point
need
you'd
more
be
of
like,
those.
you know what? Like,
And
maybe
you
there's
know,
something there, Indy.
Yeah, but
it
also
is
he got
in the
saved by
shape
2
of
different
a spaceship.
pantheons of gods,
It's in the shape
right?
of a
So, like,
spaceship
shouldn't- if
with like a
anything,
huge
that would- you feel
rooftop
like that would
green
make him agnostic,
area.
right? 'Cause
It's
then like, okay,
very beautiful
I not
architecturally,
only
right? And I'm
did
sure
I
it will
find-
be very interesting to drive by. I might, have to make a trip
Just,
out
like,
there to see it
very,
once.
like,
The
architectural piece of,
FAA
like,
is back up
Christian,
and
like,
running, and you can actually get a
right?
flight
But I
to
will
Los
also
Angeles
say
because it looks
by-
like the only way you might get to
no,
see
other
this
cultures
bitch
did.
is if you
And the one
already
thing
on that
is,
side of
like,
the
in
country.
Last
If we
Crusade,
can't
they're like,
get
he
things
walks in,
back in
sees
control
this guy heal a
after
gunshot wound
after
by
all
pouring
of
this-
the
and he
calamity
sees a
because the
700-year-old
shutdown
knight, and
has
he's just
finally.
like,
Well, I
landed.
guess this is
And
archaeologically
we will talk
sound.
about that
But
after
once
we come
again, I
back.
feel like all of
this
those events
Break.
would make me go, okay,
Maybe there's something to this Jesus.
And we back,
No,
and we
opposite.
back,
The
and
opposite.
so
The exact
is
opposite.
Congress.
I would be like, you
So
know what?
is
Maybe
the Senate.
About
maybe
goddamn time.
I should
After
become a
the
pagan, because
longest
this is a lot.
shutdown in American
Everything
history,
is a
what,
lot.
42 days?
40-something days.
40-something days.
No, like, yeah, like,
This is following the
finding
previous
the Ark of the
longest
Covenant
shutdown
is
in
one
American
thing, but
history.
you keep,
Also,
like,
Also
disregarding
during
the whole
Donald
getting
Trump's
saved by
presidency.
Shiva thing.
Previous one.
Right,
35.
like it wasn't
Right,
Jesus,
almost.
it wasn't Mother
as
Mary.
The same number as his approval rating currently. And as we mentioned earlier,
finding a
you know, the
700-year-old
UFC
knight,
fight
like,
hasn't
yeah,
been the
sure,
only
that's
fight
pretty,
that has
like,
been going
yeah,
on inside the
pretty
halls
brave,
of the White
right?
House.
But
Yeah.
MAGA
that doesn't
is falling
scream
apart
Jesus. He
as
might
it appears
scream
in front of our
Jesus,
very
right?
eyes. It
But-
looks like
All right.
the-
I
Indiana
saw
Jones
on
movies might be a reason
video
for me to
recording
turn Disney Plus
Marjorie
back on.
Taylor Greene apologizing for being
I can
divisive.
tell you what.
It's weird
have
out
you
here
turn
right
into
now.
the
None of this is
first
normal
action
bad guys.
show.
Oh no,
And that is
it's not
visiting
though. It's none
George
of
Lucas's
this is
Museum
normal.
of
Tucker
Narrative
Carlson
Art. That's right,
has even
founded
affirmed
by
that he
the
is
legendary
reconsidering
Star
his
Wars
support
filmmaker
for
George
Donald Trump
Lucas.
He
at
said
this
that
point.
all
Exposition.
proof that
will
the
open
assassination attempt was a fake.
Museum of
Yeah,
Narrative Art
I missed
on
the-
Oh, I'm sorry. More proof?
Yeah, more
Oh,
proof other than the fact that Donald
open
still
yet.
has an ear.
Can't go
You
there
know,
yet.
Charlie Kirk's
But
neck
The
with blue,
facility
so you could,
is
so Donald Trump's ear
But
could.
it was a
Los
different
Angeles
gun.
Expedition Park. It features new
Anyway,
green spaces and a
it's
300,000
still not
square foot
very
building
clear
that includes galleries,
what exactly the
2 theaters,
outcome
a
is going to
library,
be
restaurants,
from the
cafes,
result
retail
of
stores,
the
and community spaces.
what six was it 6 or 8
So
Dems that
it
decided
sounds like
to
it's
flip vote,
a very decent third.
along with Chuck Schumer and who's
Chuck did not vote yes.
you know,
Much needed.
Trust me,
It is
I did
in
not
the
vote
shape
yes.
of a
I
spaceship.
did not
It's in
want
the
this
shape of
to
a
happen.
spaceship
It
with,
just
like,
so
a
happens that the 8
rooftop
congressional
green
senators
area.
that did
It's,
want this to happen,
very beautiful.
none of them are up for
I'm
re-election.
sure it would be very interesting.
I feel like we need Zach here
I might,
where
you know, have to make a trip out there
to
to see it once. You know,
Oh, Zwagel,
the
not
FAA
Vogt. Yeah,
is
no.
back
Got
up
it.
and running, and you can actually get a flight to
Yep.
Los Angeles because it looked like
I'm not
you know, the
surprised,
only way you
right?
might get to see this is
I guess I
if
should
you
say I'm
already
surprised
on the
it
other side
went
of the country. If we
this
can't
long
get
without them
back in
folding.
control.
Obviously, most Democratic constituents are not happy because, as it appears at the moment, it does look that this means
Finally
the
ended.
premiums, the healthcare premiums,
we will talk
will
about that
increase
after we come
as
back.
planned, as well as a couple of other things. I saw something about a
And we back,
hemp
and we
ruling that
back,
was snuck into
and so
the bill at the
back.
last minute.
It hits gas
So
station
is
weed.
the Senate.
Yeah.
goddamn
So I mean,
time.
it's like a
After
fucking
the
gray area that
longest
they have been
shutdown in
abusing
American
this
history.
entire time, and I'm
40-something days.
sure they will use it to crack down on dispensaries as they please, the same way they're using, you know, these
Also
loose
during-
immigration laws to
I'm
storm
not-
cities as they
I'm not
please.
upset that
35.
gas station weed is going away.
Right? Almost.
I will admit.
Is
I'm not
the same
upset
number
that
as his
gas
approval
station
rating currently.
My man, how privileged of you. Like, my man's like, just go stand in line at a dispensary like the rest of us.
And,
if you
as
still
we
want to buy
mentioned
street
earlier,
weed, that's
you
your
know,
problem.
The UFC
Look,
fight
you can
hasn't
order
been the
online
only
at
fight
this
that has been
point.
going on inside.
I
the
mean,
halls
that's a
of the
much more
White House.
accurate Chuck Schumer
MAGA
for me.
is
Yeah.
falling
You
apart,
can order
as
online
it
at
appears
this
in
point.
front
All
of our
right,
very
Zoran
eyes.
Mamdani.
It looks like
I saw
Hey,
on
is he the first politician to
recording,
admit to
Marjorie
like
Taylor
smoking
Greene
weed in a debate? He's got to be like the first New York politician.
being divisive. I remember somebody did ask
weird
him.
out
They were
here
like,
right now. None
favorite
of this normal
dispensary,
guy
and he
guys-
was
no.
like, I
It's
have
not,
not
though.
frequented
None of
a single
this
one
is
enough
normal,
to
Tucker
have a
Carlson
favorite.
I feel like Ari asked him straight up when the last time he had purchased, or if he had ever purchased anything. Maybe it was Ari that asked him what his favorite dispensary was, because he was definitely asked during a debate if he had ever purchased anything legally from a dispensary, and he kind of like, gave that pothead chuckle where he was like,
no.
So he was like, I have purchased legal weed from a dispensary.
It's illegal, right?
Yeah. Like, yes, I have.
Still not.
I have fired up a fat doobie in my living room and played King Rock Band with my friends. Are you?
My wife.
Yeah, like
my wife and I got ripped and played Guitar Hero.
Is that a crime? I thought this was America.
I love that. Like,
I thought this was America.
I love that. Just the idea, like. I can imagine Zoran and his wife doing a risky business.
I love the idea of Zoran Mondani sitting in his living room getting smacked off his fucking mind while watching Smack URL rap battles, right? Because, like, let's not forget. No, let's not forget that Zoran raps, right? Like, this is New York City's first rapping mayor. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. Eric Adams.
Nah, definitely. I got all my money on Zoran Mondani in that battle. Son, what? He's going on. He's spending an entire round on Eric Adams' bald head.
Obviously,
what do you mean?
Most Democratic constituents are not.
What do you mean?
Because, as it appears,
Eric Adams would just be full of nothing but coke rap. We've all seen that public safety address thing. This looks like an ordinary knapsack, but it could be holding cocaine.
That was snuck in.
And this is a very weird political space right now.
Gun. What could this gun be hiding?
We are we are in a very, very weird political space right now. At the moment, that the shutdown was announced over,
to crack down on
the
dispensaries as they
wait
please, the same way
for the final signature on the Epstein disclosure agreement has been signed, right? So now was finally sworn. After stonewalling that to prevent the pedophile protection ring, as Hakeem Jeffries has so coined, right? Probably the only fire shot that man has ever taken in his life.
Yeah, he
no,
probably
Ted.
only took the layup after Tom Massey
that's a much
said
more accurate
on the
Chuck
floor.
Schumer
He's
for me.
like, everybody who votes no on this is putting into public record that you are
the first politician
protecting
to admit
a
to
pedophile.
like
Oh boy, and let me tell you, rumor around the mill is rumor around K Street is that these motherfuckers are lining up to turn coat on the MAGA movement. They cannot wait to sign for the full unedited disclosure.
This is the easiest get out of jail free card.
I mean, we really are about to have a Nixon moment here, right? Like, maybe do you think we are on the precipice of a Nixon moment? I mean,
ever purchased anything legally from
with emails, though. The email
gave that pothead chuckle where he was like,
emails,
no,
he was like,
God, we couldn't go through an episode without actually getting into the emails because I mean, good.
So do you think if it's worse if you suck Bill Clinton's dick or Ghislaine Maxwell's dick?
Let's hold on.
King Rock Band with my
because
friends. Are you
my wife?
The other emails.
Like,
my wife and
at
I
this
got
point,
ripped and played
simply with the email that I
crime?
find to be the biggest smoking
I
gun
love that. Like,
is the discourse between
just the idea,
Jeff
like,
and Michael
I
Wolff
can imagine Zoran
in
and his wife doing a
2015
risky
prior
business.
to the election.
I love
right?
the idea
Like during
of
what
Zoran
I believe was the
Mondani
first
sitting
debate
in his
between him and
living room,
Hillary.
getting
Right, like it was
smacked off
already
his fucking
salacious
mind
enough
while watching
when Jeff
Smack
was like,
URL rap battles.
if
Right?
everybody
Because,
knew
let's
what
not
I
forget-
knew about the
let's
two
not forget that
nominees,
Zoran raps,
they
right?
would have to
This
cancel
is
the election.
New York City's
Right?
first
That's already a
rapping mayor.
salacious comment. Like, what the fuck do you
I
mean?
don't
Like,
know.
cancel
I don't know.
the
Eric
election?
Adams.
Like, not just like
I got all my
reconsider.
money
Like,
on
how
Zoran
bad could it
Mondani
be
in
that like
battle.
we would? I mean,
Son,
Donald literally
he's
said
going
I could
on-
walk
he's
out in the
spending
middle
an
of Fifth
entire
Avenue and
round
shoot somebody
on
in
Eric
cold
Adams'
blood. So
ball
how
head.
could?
What do
How
you
bad
mean?
could it be? Epstein says that Donald Trump is the
Eric
worst
Adams is
person
pulling
he
up on
knows.
Yeah, also, it seems like
We've all
Epstein
seen
just
that
fucking hated
public
Trump.
safety.
The worst.
Like,
He says he's
just looks like a
absolutely
ordinary guy.
evil.
This guy.
Yeah. So, like, how shitty of a person do you have to be that the world's shittiest person? Hey, also, I think that despite all their satire, The Onion might have either been absolutely right or right about Jeffrey Epstein being the coolest person ever. Because, like, now hold on, hear me out.
He was
Hear
so
me out. Hear me out.
On
Sex
the
island.
Epstein
Hear me out.
disclosure agreement.
Hear me out. I'm not saying that what Jeffrey Epstein did was okay. I'm not saying that Jeffrey Epstein is a pedophile and not a pedophile. What I'm saying is
that to prevent the pedophile protection ring.
this man literally had like all the connections. It's like Jeffrey Epstein. Two people I feel like saw like James Bond and took that shit to heart are Vladimir Putin and Jeffrey Epstein. Right? Like these are two guys that were like, yeah, no, I think I want to do that. Like I think that's what I want my game to be. And you know, when you're doing intelligence gathering, the game gets dirty. And I'm not saying that that's an excuse to run a child sex trafficking ring. But what I am saying is that
on the MAGA movement,
this man was setting up meetings
for the
like,
full
with Mongolian dignitaries
Easiest get out of jail
and like
free card.
British
I mean, we
prime
really are about to
ministers and
have a
shit
Nixon
like that. Like,
You know what these emails make me think?
Maybe
the
do
more
you think we are on the
we
precipice of a
uncover
Nixon
about Jeffrey
moment?
Epstein,
No, he
the
dies
more
of
questions it leaves me. The last time I felt this intrigued about a person's like identity and background is when like we found out like how crazy Nikola Tesla went at the end of his life.
I
Right?
will say
Like-
that the more and more I found,
I mean, good.
the
So do
more
you
and
think
more
if it's
I
worse
find
if he
out
sucked
about
Bill Clinton's
Epstein,
dick or
the
Ghislaine
more and
Maxwell's
more
dick?
I
Let's
believe
dick.
that
Let's hold
Diddy
on.
will get pardoned.
Right, because
And this is all to say that
other
Epstein was a disgusting
At this
individual and
simply
a
with
despicable person.
the
But
email that I find to be the
Let us
biggest
also
slogan
bring back into context that
is
that
the discourse
person that
between
everybody in America can agree
Jeff
is probably
and Michael
like the
Wolff
most vile person to
in
like exist on the
2015
planet since like
prior
I
to
don't know Hitler.
right?
Right.
Like, during what I
up there.
believe was the first
Says that Donald Trump is the worst person
Right,
he's
like, it
ever
was
met.
already
Like the
salacious
most
enough
evil person
when
he's
Jeff
ever met.
was
Says
like-
Donald Trump doesn't have anything
Everybody
resembling
knew
a
I knew
soul.
about the
And
two,
him and Michael Wolff had a
the
discussion
two,
where
nominees, they would have to cancel.
they
the election.
pondered on
Right?
the
That's
idea
already a
of
salacious
how
comment.
to
Like, what the
handle
fuck do you mean,
Donald
like,
running
cancel
for
the
presidency.
election?
And
Like,
Michael
not
Wolff
just, like-
said,
like,
let him
reconsider,
hang
like,
himself.
How bad
Yep.
could it be that like
If
we would-
he
I mean, Donald
mentions that he
literally
doesn't
said,
know
I could
you
walk out in
or
the
that
middle
he's
of Fifth
never
Avenue
been
and
to
shoot
the
somebody in
island,
cold blood,
then
so how
we've
could-
got him.
How bad could it be?
You can either A, make him
Epstein
look
says
good,
that Donald Trump
or
is
you
the
can
worst
use
person
it
he knows.
for
Yeah, also, it seems
political
like Epstein just fucking
collateral.
hated Trump. Yep.
The worst.
Like,
He says
that
he's
is that is a
absolutely
fact
not
that Michael Wolff
evil.
says, guy.
Yeah. So like how
As
shitty
they
of a
tried to
person
say
do you
in
have to be
2016,
that the world's
Yo
shittiest
mans
person. Hey,
is
also, I think
compromat.
that despite
He
all
is
their satire, the Onion
compromat.
might
think
have
Donald
either
Trump
been absolutely
Cares about being found
right
out as a
or
pedophile.
right
I don't
about
even
Jeffrey
know
Epstein
how much
being
Donald
the
Trump
coolest person
cares
ever.
about being
Now
found
hold
out
on.
that
Hear
he
me out.
sucked
He
dick.
was
Hear
so
me
cool.
out. I think the biggest
Yeah,
thing he's
yeah.
hiding is that he sucked
Hear me
Bill
out.
Clinton's dick.
Hear me out,
Bro.
I'm not saying that what
As
Jeffrey
I've said
Epstein-
off
Like, the
mic,
thing is
I'm not
MAGA
saying
will
that Jeffrey
excuse
Epstein
the
is a pedophile.
pedophile.
Man, that's
Not a
it.
pedophile.
MAGA will excuse
What I'm
the
saying
gay.
is-
They will not excuse the Clinton.
I don't
This
think
man
I don't
literally
even think
had,
they would
like, all
excuse
the
the gay.
connections.
The
It's like
gay
Jeffrey
would be really
Epstein,
hard for
two
them to
people
swallow,
I
no
feel
pun
like
intended.
saw
Pause.
James
Fully
Bond
intended.
and took that shit to
Yes,
heart
that was the
are
joke.
Vladimir
But no.
Putin and Jeffrey Epstein.
The irony,
Right? Like
the
these are two guys that were
levels
like,
of irony
yeah, no, I
are
think I wanna do that.
rising
Like, I think that's what I want my
and
game to
crashing
be.
through Donald
And,
Trump's throat. Because
you know,
my
when you're
God,
doing intelligence gathering, the game
picture
gets dirty.
alone,
And I'm not saying
the
that that's
picture
an
alone,
excuse.
the
to
picture
run a child
alone
sex
Pictures,
trafficking
according to
ring.
the email.
should
but what I am
have
saying
been.
is that
No, have you seen the one
this
of
man
him and
was
Bill
setting
together
up-
where Donald,
yeah,
and
I
he's
have. That one,
grabbing,
yeah, I have.
he's
Mongolian
grabbing, like
dignitaries.
literally, Donald doesn't just
And,
grab them
British
by the
prime
pussy. He
ministers
grabs
and shit.
them by
Like,
the whatever
you know what
the
these
fuck
emails
you
make me
got.
think?
He don't
The
care. He
more
just want to see what it
we
feel like.
uncover about Jeffrey
He's sitting
Epstein,
right
the
next to
more
Kanye at
questions
the
it
Diddy
leads me.
party. He's like,
The
I
last
just want
time
to touch
Everybody
it.
I
knows
felt
that Bill
this
can do the
intrigue
funniest thing
about
on the
a
planet
person's
right
like identity and background.
Like, Bill
is
could
when,
just
like,
walk
we
on,
found out,
walk
like,
up
how
to a
crazy
person with a
Nikola
camera and be
Tesla
like,
was at the
it's
end
true.
Of his life.
I
would
had
say
sexual
that-
relations with that
The more and
man.
more
Walk
I
out and be
found-
like, it's true,
the
and
more
then
more
just walk
I
away
find
and
out
put
about
sunglasses
Epstein,
on, explosions
the more and
fire
more
behind
I
him.
believe that Diddy will get part.
You know, I don't get into
And this is
the
all to
Armageddon
say
talk,
that Epstein
but this
was a
feels very
disgusting
Armageddon
individual
plotline. This
and
feels
a
very
despicable
jump the
person.
shark. Like,
Let us
just
also
recently-
bring back
by
into
the way,
context that
completely
person
ran to
that
the side.
everybody
I
in
just
America can
recently
agree is
listened
probably
to
like the most vile
Armageddon
person that, like exists on
Actor
the planet
DVD
since, like, I don't
commentary
know,
because
Hitler.
it popped up
Right.
on my Threads
Yeah, up
algorithm.
there.
typo alert.
Says that
Ben
Donald Trump
Affleck's
is the worst person he's
commentary
ever met.
on
Like the most
Armageddon
evil person
is
he's ever met.
so
Says Donald Trump
fucking
doesn't
funny.
have anything resembling a
because
soul.
he's saying
And him and
what
Michael
all of
Wolff
us
had
are
a discussion.
Oh,
where
yeah, you know, like
they-
these guys are going to be ready to go into
They
space in
pondered
12
on
days.
the
No
idea
problem.
of how to handle Donald running for president.
I don't
And
know
Michael Wolff
where we go
said,
from here because, as I
"Let him
said
hang
earlier,
himself."
this
Yep.
feels like
If he
the kind
mentions
of
that he
writing
doesn't know
that
you,
if it was in
or
a
that
soap
he's never
opera,
been to
everybody
the
would be
island,
online
then we've
immediately
got it.
after the episode
You
ended
can
talking
either
about how the
A,
show
make
needs
him
to
look
end
good,
because
or you
it's
can
so
use it
cheesy.
for political.
You mean to
collateral.
tell me
Yep.
the
Yep. That is that is
Christo
exactly what Michael
nationalist,
Wolff said.
fascist, evangelical,
As they tried to say
authoritarian,
in
masco,
2016,
fucking
Your man's
macho
is
man who
compromised.
grabs them
He is
by the pussy
I don't
because
think
he's
that part by him, a picture of
Cares
him
about
sucking
being
Bill
found out
Clinton's
as a
dick.
pedophile.
Yes,
I don't
yes, it
even
would.
know
is
how much Donald Trump
sucking
cares about
not
being
only
found
dick,
out that
but
he sucked
the
dick. I think the biggest
one
thing he's
person
hiding
whose
is
name,
that he
the
sucked
only
Bill
way
Clinton's
this could be worse is if
As I've said,
it was
like,
Barack
I
think
Obama's
it's
dick.
MAGA will excuse the
I think Putin
pedophile.
has that
That's
picture.
it.
MAGA will
The
excuse
only
the
way
gay.
this
They
could be
will not
worse
excuse
is if it
the
was
Clinton.
Michelle
I don't
Obama's
think.
dick.
I don't even think they'd excuse the gay. The gay
Because,
would be
like,
really hard for them to swallow.
Donica
no pun
Lewinsky,
intended.
hello.
Oh, John Lewinsky is diabolical.
I'm not the
irony-
originator of that. I will not
the
take full
level
credit for Donica
of
Lewinsky.
irony are
But like,
rising
somebody find the dress.
and
If we
crashing
can't
through
find the
Donald
pics, then we
Trump's
need to
throat.
find the
Because
dress,
my
right?
God,
Like, what the fuck are we talking?
The
What is
picture
happening?
alone-
Is anybody serious
picture
anymore?
alone-
Are we in a serious
picture
country
alone-
anymore?
No, we're not.
What do you mean?
should
What do you
have
mean?
been-
The
like, no,
current.
have you seen the
What
one
do you
of
mean the
him
current
and Bill
president
together where
sucked
Donald,
the ex-president's
and
dick
he's
That one,
grabbing-
yeah.
and then
He's grabbing-
stood
like,
behind his
literally,
wife
Donald doesn't
during a
just grab
presidential
them
debate,
by the pussy,
knowing that he
grabs
sucked
them
her
by the
husband's
whatever
dick.
the
Is it
fuck
going
you
to
got.
be
He don't care.
to
He just
have
want to see what it
two
feels like.
impeachment hearings involving Bill Clinton getting a blowjob. Yeah.
He's
That's
sitting
what
right
I
next
mean.
Only
to
one
Kanye
of them
at
is
the Diddy
involving
party.
Bill
It's like,
Clinton on trial.
Everybody knows that
That's
Bill
what I
can do
mean.
the funniest
Can
thing
you
on the planet
imagine
right now.
going back in time and
Like, Bill
telling
could
George
just walk
Washington
on-
about this?
Walk up to a person
Can
with
you
a camera and be
fucking
like,
imagine?
It's true. It wasn't
He
that
would be
good.
like,
You know how ashamed Amy Coney Barrett and Brett
Walk out and be like,
Kavanaugh are
"It's
going to
true.
feel when
Wasn't
they have
that
to
good,
sit
though."
at
And then
this
just
hearing
walk away
before
and
the
put
Supreme
explain
Court.
this to Benjamin
Explosions
Franklin.
fire
And they're
behind him.
just like,
You know,
Really?
I don't get into the
Really?
Armageddon talk,
This is the
but
guy
this
who
feels
put me
very
here?
Armageddon plotline. This
do you
feels
think
very
Hamilton
jump
inspired
the
that
shark.
Lin-Manuel
Like-
Miranda fucking musical for
Dude,
this?
it-
recently, by
Is
the
this is the end of
completely ran to the
America?
side. I just
Right, this is our let
This
them
is America.
yeah,
Armageddon
except for it's
actor
Donald Trump
DVD
sucking cock.
commentary, 'cause it
God
popped
damn
up
it,
on
bro!
my
Like
Threads algorithm.
we
This is the
got
type of thing I never would have thought this
Ben
would have been in the
Affleck's-
Epstein files.
we got
Like,
commentary
I imagine a whole bunch
on
of terrible
Armageddon
things in the Epstein
is
files. I
so
never thought
fucking
a
funny.
picture of Trump sucking Bill
Because
Clinton off
he's saying
would be.
what all of
we
us
haven't
want to
gotten
be.
that yet,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
And we
you know,
haven't
like,
gotten the P
these guys
tape yet,
are gonna be ready to
right?
go into
But we
space in
did get
12
pics
days.
of
No
Trump
problem.
grabbing Bill Clinton's dick before we got GTA 6. And that
I don't know
is wild.
where we go from here because, as I said earlier,
wild.
this
what else
feels
is
like
wild? while the internet isn't,
if it was in a soap opera,
you aren't,
everybody would
talking
be
about
online
Donald Trump potentially being a closet
the show needs to end because
authoritarian
it's so
leader,
cheesy.
then you might be discussing
You mean
whether
to
or
tell
not
me
it's embarrassing
the
to have a boyfriend. And we'll talk about that after we come back.
Evangelical,
Which won't take 41
authoritarian,
days.
masco, fucking macho man who grabs them by the pussy
All of it will
because
get pulled
he's
apart by him. A picture of him sucking Bill Clinton's dick. Yes, it would.
is sucking not only dick, but Bill
Clinton.
one person whose name, the only way this could be worse is if it was Barack Obama's dick.
And we back.
The only way.
And we are
this
in
could
the
be
final
worse
stretch,
is if
and
it was
here
Michelle
on the
Obama.
tail end of the episode, we really like to talk about what it is that the culture feeling. And this week, I've been tapped in
Because,
to this Vogue article that's gone
Donica
viral,
Lewinsky,
and it's gotten me
hello.
asking some
John
questions.
Lewinsky
The main one
is
being
diabolical.
the same one that
I'm
the
not-
title
I'm
is
not-
asking.
I'm not the originator.
Is
of
having
that.
a
I will
boyfriend
not take
embarrassing?
full credit for Donica Lewinsky.
I'm not the.
In the
But
big
like-
2025,
being a straight single
Somebody
man
find the
in his
dress.
30s, I'm
If we
probably
can't find the
not
pics, then we
ideal
need to find the
demographic.
dress, right?
oh no,
Like,
you are the
what
perfect
the fuck are we
demographic,
talking? What is
'cause
happening? Is anybody
am spoken
serious
for,
anymore?
right?
Are
Now,
we in a
we
serious
could pull
country?
my partner over to the side
What
and
do
ask
you
her
mean?
how embarrassing
What do
it
you
is
mean?
We are a
to be
deep
with me,
current
but we will
serious
not.
people.
What do you mean the current
'Cause
president sucked
am not ready for that kind of shadow work,
and
not
then
during
stood
a
behind
retrograde.
his wife
Absolutely
during
not.
a presidential
I will not subject
debate,
myself to that.
knowing that
but
he
what I
sucked her
will
husband's
How wild
subject
is it
us
going
and
to
the
be
listeners to
to have
is
two
making you
impeachment
uncomfortable for
hearings
content reasons.
involving
Shout
Bill
out to having a
Clinton.
co-host.
That's nothing to do.
That's what I
Actually,
mean.
one of them is involving Bill Clinton on trial.
The perception of
What I
having a
mean.
boyfriend has
Can you
shifted,
imagine
with many now
going back
questioning
in
whether
time
it is
and
embarrassing
telling George Washington about
or
this?
is it reflecting
Can you
a broader
fucking
societal
imagine?
change in how relationships
You'd
are
be
viewed.
like-
Recent
You know how
discussions
ashamed
online have
Amy
highlighted
Coney Barrett,
a Vogue
Brett
article by
Kavanaugh are
Shante
gonna feel
Moore
when they have to
exploring
sit
the
at
views
this
on
hearing
relationships,
before the
especially
Supreme Court.
regarding
to Benjamin
having
Franklin.
boyfriend.
And they're just like,
Now,
really?
being kink, posi, and
Really?
gender fluid here,
This is the
right?
guy who put
having
me
a
here?
boyfriend is not just something specific
Do you think
to
Hamilton inspired
the
that
female
Lin-Manuel
birthing
Miranda
class
musical
right?
For this? This is
But
the end of America.
I know for the
Right?
most
This is
part,
our let
This
them
is
you
America.
are the boyfriend.
yeah, except
right?
for it's Donald
yeah,
Trump
I'm a
sucking cock.
straight white
God damn
American
it,
male.
bro. Like,
Yeah.
What's it been like out there for you recently? Do you feel like the women are reluctant to even entertain the idea of
we
going
got-
on dates with
I
guys?
never would have thought this would have been in the Epstein.
I
can tell you that I noticed people unmatch on dating apps for like
A picture
reasons
of
that
Trump
I'm like,
sucking Bill Clinton
Wait,
off
what?
would be
we
like
haven't
the
gotten
unmatched
that yet,
on
right?
a
And we
dating
haven't gotten the
app
P tape yet,
recently
right?
with
But
somebody
we did get pics
where they were like, yeah,
of
I'll
Trump
get to the
grabbing
manor.
Bill Clinton's dick
And I'm like,
before
what
we
time
got
do you get there? And I'm
GTA
like, I normally
And
get
that-
there by 7.
is wild.
Unmatched.
Damn. Damn.
What else is wild?
Okay,
you
so
know, while
look,
the internet
look,
isn't
the article
aren't,
sparked
you know,
lively
talking
debate
about
online, which
Donald Trump potentially
some
being
people
a closet
And I'm like,
having a boyfriend
authoritarian
to
leader,
feeling
then
like a humiliation
you might be
ritual,
discussing
right?
whether or not.
And I just
it's
feel like this
embarrassing
is a
to have a boyfriend,
furthering
And we'll talk
of
about
the
that
trend
after
of
we
women
come back.
just being fed up with it,
which won't take
right?
41 days.
Like for
And we back.
the
and we
longest
back,
time,
and we
the
back, and
I
And
guess
we are
the
in the
trope
final
was
stretch, and
the
here
whole
on the tail
push
end of the
towards
episode, you know, we really
being
like to
lesbian
talk
or
about
bisexual,
what it is
right,
that the culture
amongst
feels.
women was
And
because
this
women
week,
were just tired
I've
of
been
dealing
tapped
with
in
men.
to
Right,
this Vogue article
the
that's gone
way
viral.
people
And it's
talk
gotten me
about
asking some
the
questions.
Vogue
The
article
main
in
one
itself
being
feels like
the
a
same
fucking
one that the title
psyop,
is asking.
right? Because there's just
having a
there
boyfriend
are quotes in there. Some woman
I'm
said,
not the-
"Nah."
In the big 2025.
Hold on, I gotta find it
Being a
because
straight single
the full
man
context
in his
of this
30s,
quote
I'm
is
probably
great.
not the
The
ideal
woman who was
demographic.
38
Oh, no,
years
you are
old
the perfect
said that she had
demographic.
just
'Cause
gotten out
I
of a 12-year
have spoken
relationship where she did not post pictures of her partner and would not consider posting pictures of men online because even though she considered herself the romantic type, and I quote, she said that men will not cease to embarrass you no matter the kind of time and effort that you put in with them. So she's just keeping herself from having to deal with, I guess, those memories that Snapchat will hand you later on down the line, despite the fact. Right, and then there are some people who don't post their boyfriends online because they fear the evil eye and a bit of superstition, right? You have happy people who don't really post their lives on social media because they feel like the jealousy of, anons is a lot to bear. I don't know if that necessarily overall describes a larger cultural tonal shift, but I do feel like the discussion online and some of the responses to this article are like I said, continuation of what has been an ongoing trend of women just kind of being fed up with
I'm a straight white
the
American
quality
male.
of men, right? And as I was reading this article, I stumbled on to another one. Was about people weighing in on like the kind of like toxic expectations of relationships and dating in this day and age, right? So like as people are online having a discussion about whether or not it's embarrassing to have a boyfriend, at the same time people are saying like the expectations of people when it comes to like dating and relationships are impossible, and it's like people are essentially saying not being perfect is a red flag, right? Like how are you feeling?
I mean, I was talking to another girl on a dating app. Everything was fine until she was like, and I'm like, I'm in Alexandria, Virginia. This isn't gonna work.
Okay.
So that's funny because as I'm digging into this topic, right, I found another USA Today article,
and I'm like,
the dating dictionary, and it's like 5 different terms being used to describe, specific dating scenarios and situations amongst like Gen Z and people like that, right?
For
Zip coding, a new dating trend, speaking to the unhealthy obsession with location, right? Where, your approach to reaching out for, dating prospects is like within a food delivery service, right? Like you're dating inside of your zip code, and it's like, are you really getting a genuine experience of what is out there in the dating pool? If you're
15 miles.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Right. Some of the other terms that were included in the article were monkey barring, where alluding to the dating practice of holding on to one partner until you find another solid connection to move on to. With, right, like, kind of like gaslighting that previous person and like leading them on until you're firmly, solidly in place in the next relationship. Banksying in a relationship involves slowly withdrawing emotionally from your partner without telling them that that's what you're doing. Later on down the line, despite the fact. Right, and then there are some people. Shrekking involves dating someone you're not attracted to, and
that's what we've covered.
That the person will treat you better in return. Right, so kind of like punching down, I guess. Like the jealousy. I feel like we are in a time period of redefining what a relationship is, right? Like breaking out of the traditional idea of man, woman, and even romantic, right? Like, because then you have throning, which is when you date someone to raise your social status. Which is something that was brought up in the Vogue article, right? Where they were talking about the trend of women creators online switching from being original or not necessarily original, but just like individually solely entertaining themselves to content that is solely focused on their boyfriend's lifestyle and like adapting to the life of having a partner as like a social signifier, right? So when you see some of the things that women complain about online when it comes to men, like it wasn't too long ago that we were talking on the pod about how women were clowning men for thinking it was gay to wash their own ass, and now women are like, you know, actually having a boyfriend is embarrassing.
Like people are essentially
What are we supposed to do?
Not being perfect is a red flag.
Be
right?
gay. That's what we're supposed to do,
Like,
everybody. Everybody
how
just
you feel?
needs to be gay.
Is that the take that we take away from this, or is it the take that I feel like part of the article?
Humanity is fucked. Start fucking ass. Yes, that's the takeaway.
I feel like one of the major points of the article was actually the focus now that women have on kind of like excelling and growing individually and like personally, like interpersonal growth is becoming more of the main cultural
I feel like
focus.
we need to call in Aisha Curry right now.
And I feel like, honestly, that's what dudes should be doing, right? But the problem that we have here on this side of the field, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about this, not just to like slam on the psyop that was the Vogue article, right? Because don't get me wrong, I do feel like a decent portion of that article is like divide and conquer. But we started it with like our Kevin Samuels and our Andrew Tates, right? And instead of doing what women do, right, which was promote
15 miles.
growth and, you know, social maturity and a healthy masculine aesthetic, right? We chose to make the main vehicle of boyhood to manhood transformation be the shame that comes from lusting over women, right? And
I mean, that's nothing new to me. I'm Catholic, so. Yeah.
but that's my point, right? That's what Andrew Tate and them did. Like, you know, I hear you. You want bitches, and you're mad that women don't pay attention to you the way that they pay attention to somebody that looks like me. But I'm here to tell you that the problem is you think too much about women, and you're not focused on getting your fucking paper up. And if you was too busy chasing your money, then you wouldn't even realize that the women is chasing you now because you chasing the money. And it's like the focus, I guess the pitch was wrong. We let the wrong people take that, and now nobody takes healthy masculinity seriously, right? Like, I feel like what this Vogue article was saying is that women are no longer making having a partner part of their personality.
Question for you. Based on this article, what person in pop culture, real or fiction,
That was crazy alliteration just now.
do you think would qualify as the ideal boyfriend for all of the qualms?
I mean, listen, the defining the
And why?
It's a Vogue article, by the way. But
Vogue
period
article.
of
And why
redefining what
is it
a relationship is.
I don't
right? Like,
think
breaking out
there
of
is
the
one
traditional
right now.
idea
I think
Kratos
that's
is close.
man, woman, and even romantic.
I mean,
right?
maybe
because
like
then you
new
have
Kratos
romance.
because
Of
there's
course,
emotional
it's
depth.
Kratos.
Someone to
And
raise
emotional
your
depth.
social
Daddy
Yeah,
Kratos.
which is something
I
that
think
was brought up
collectively,
in the Vogue article,
the
right,
image
where they
of
were
an
talking about the
ideal
trend of
marriage
women creators
or an ideal
online
partnership
switching from being
has been
original
shattered,
and or
right?
not necessarily
Like
original,
Kendrick
but just,
said,
like,
the
individually
party is
entertaining
dead,
themselves.
right? Like,
Yeah, look at Kratos.
Content that is
Look at the
solely
government.
focused on
Like,
their
all of this
boyfriend's
shit is up in the
lifestyle
air
and, like,
right now.
adapting
There's
to
no
the life
having a
ideal
partner
anything.
as-
There is no
as like a social signifier.
there's no standard
Right?
for
So,
anything anymore,
when
right? Like guys
you
don't
see,
even guys can't even
some of the
agree
things that women
on
complain about online
whether or
when it
not
comes to
it's
men. Like, it
gay
wasn't too long
to
ago
be
that we
in
were
love
talking on the
with
pod
your
about
wife,
how
right? Like
women
that's
were clowning
simping,
men
right? Like
for
guys,
thinking
we
it
did
was
this
gay
to
to
ourselves.
wash
Like
their
let's admit
ass.
that.
And
Let's admit that,
now-
right?
Go to
Because
Cheesecake Factory.
And now women
we,
are like, you know,
men,
actually having a
participated
boyfriend
in
is
and started on our very
What are
own
we supposed to do?
simp shaming.
Did you watch
Right,
the
like-
signifier video
That's what
about
we're
sinners?
supposed to do, everybody.
No, I
just
haven't watched that
He
yet.
actually touches
Is that
on
the
this.
take
He's
that we
just
take
like
away
the
from
scene
this,
where
or
it's-
is it the take that
Annie
I
and
feel
Smoke-
like part of the article?
Humanity
like,
is fucked. Start
she's
fucking
just like
ass.
got
Yes,
him
that's the
in her
takeaway.
I
arms,
feel like
and
one
it's
of the
the scene
major
where,
points
like,
of the
he
article
completely
was
surrenders
actually
to her.
the
They're just
focus
like,
now
At what
that
point
women
in,
have
in
on
cinema
kind of
do you
like
see a black man
excelling
just
and
like
growing
fully surrender
individually
himself
and,
to
like,
his partner
personally,
like that?
At what point in media period do you see that right now? That's what I was just explaining this shit to my son the other day.
I feel like,
right?
honestly, that's what dudes
R&B as a genre is effectively like
here
dead
on this side of the field.
as
this is one
a
of the reasons
doorknob,
why I
right?
wanted to
Like
talk about this, not just to,
kind of
like,
the same way rock
slam
music
on the
is, right? Like
psyop that
obviously
was
the
the
genre
Vogue
is still
article,
like
right? Because
alive
don't get
and
me
still
wrong,
has dedicated
I do feel
artists,
like a
but I'm
decent
saying like
portion
its
of that
cultural
article
significance is
like
not
divide and
necessarily
conquer.
what it was,
But
even as it was in the early 2000s.
we
Can't
started
Right.
into
we started it with
shopping
our
mall
Andrew Tate
and hear the
our,
song playing over the
damn,
speakers
what's
and
the-
see multiple other
I'm
people
blanking
singing
here,
along.
but
My
who's the,
point
black
is
dude?
that in order to get
Yeah,
love
we started it with, like, our
songs,
Kevin Samuels
we
and
have
our
to go to
Andrew
pop
Tates,
music now.
right?
And most of
And
that is geared
instead
towards
of
a more like
doing
youthful,
what
younger,
women do,
kind
right?
of like
Which
playful
was
love
promote,
audience, right? Like it's not like
growth and
tested,
social
fortified,
maturity and
battle
and a
scarred
healthy masculine
love songs,
aesthetic,
right? That we were getting in like the
chose to
70s,
make
the
the main
80s,
vehicle
the like
of
you know the shit, the 60s, the
boyhood to
50s,
manhood
right? The
transformation,
90s R&B,
the shame
type
that comes
shit,
from
right?
lusting
Like
over
Completely
women,
unrelated.
right?
Actually, it is
And-
I mean, that's nothing new to me. I'm Catholic, so.
but that's my point, right? That's
As
what
far as,
Andrew
like,
Tate and
cultural
them do.
travesties
Like
go,
you know,
how
I hear you.
big of
you
a
want
cultural
bitches,
travesty
and
is
you're mad
Marvin
that
Gaye
women don't
getting
pay
murdered by
attention
his
to you the way that they pay attention
Oh, I
to
mean,
somebody
that's,
that
you
looks
know,
like me.
I feel
but
like
I'm
that's
here
up
to
there
tell
with
you
JFK,
that the problem
right?
is you think too
but
much
not
about
as
How
women.
old was he?
and
I
you're
don't
not
know much
focused
about
on
this.
getting
I
your
heard about
fucking
this.
face
I
right.
mean,
And if
I
you
don't
was too
remember
busy
how
chasing
old he
your
was,
money,
but what
then
I
you
can
wouldn't
tell you
even
is
realize
that
the
it,
women
I
that's
feel like
chasing
it is
you
as
now
much
can
of a
be chasing
cultural
the money, and
travesty
it's like
as
the focus,
the
I
death
guess
of R&B.
The pitch was
And I
wrong.
don't
We
feel
let the
like
wrong
I'm really
people
jumping off the ledge here
take
when I
that.
say
And
romance
now
in a sense
nobody
is
takes
kind of
healthy
dead,
masculinity
right? And this is
serious.
coming from somebody in a
Right?
15-year
Like,
relationship,
I
right?
feel
Like I'm
what
not
this Vogue article
saying
is
that
saying is that women are no longer
there aren't
making
examples of it. I'm
having
just saying like the
a
cultural
partner
significance of it,
part
right? Like how
of
often
their
do you see
Question for you.
dedication and like okay,
Based on this
hear me out. Hear me out. The new Frankenstein
What
just dropped
person
on
in
Netflix,
pop culture-
right? So I've been doing a little
it's on
like,
Netflix?
yeah, I've
Oh,
been
it was
doing a
great.
little,
Watch
yeah. Guillermo del Toro, Oscar Isaac, Jacob Elrodi, Christoph Waltz, Mia Goth, Felix Kammer, right? It's it's fucking great. I've gotten halfway through it because I watch
but-
movies like an old man.
And why?
Not my point. My point is that part of the reason why I've only gotten halfway through
I
it
don't
is
think
because as I
there
do
is one
when stuff like
right
this
now.
comes
I
out, I
think
go
Kratos
on little
is
deep
close.
dives about it. And one of the things I learned about Mary
maybe
Shelley
like new
is
Kratos because
she-
there's emotional death.
Kratos.
after Percy died
needs to be
in
Daddy
like a fucking
Kratos.
I don't know, like a boating expedition or whatever, they cremated him and his
I
heart
think
refused to burn.
collectively,
She
the
kept it.
image
She
of
kept
an
Mary
ideal
Shelley kept her husband's heart
or an ideal
and wrapped it
partnership
in his
has
poetry
been shattered.
for 30
Like
years.
Kendrick said, the
30
party is
years
dead.
she kept it
Right,
in a
like-
desk
Yeah, look at
drawer
Kratos.
No,
Look at the
not
government.
only dude. Not only
all
did
of this
Percy's
shit
heart
is up in
refuse
the
to
air
burn
right
in his
There's
cremation,
no
which has already got this
ideal
shit.
anything.
But then
There
the
is
mother
no-
of Scientology, or not Scientology, excuse me,
no
that's a
standard.
crazy
The mother of
word.
science fiction.
The mother of science
no
fiction
standard for
kept her
anything,
dead husband's
right?
heart
Like,
wrapped in
guys
his
don't
poetry
even-
in
guys
her
can't even
fucking
agree
desk drawer.
on
Like,
whether or not
that's
it's
goth
gay
as fuck.
to be in
Also,
love with your
romantic
wife, right?
as
Like,
shit.
that's simple,
Yeah.
right? Like, guys, we did this to
Yeah.
ourselves. Like,
And I'm
let's
just
admit
saying,
that.
I will
Let's
go
admit
ahead and
that,
say
right?
it
Because
for all our like 2 female
we,
listeners,
men,
like you niggas aren't doing
participated
shit to
in
deserve
and
that.
started on our very own.
You're not.
If
You're
any,
not.
If any of
You
that
are-
right,
you
ever
niggas-
think of
fire video
to
about
me,
sinners.
my new book, A
No, I
Focus
haven't
on
watched it.
Distractions, will
He
be on
actually touches on
Amazon
this. Just like
next
the scene
week.
where it's-
Maybe by the time you hear this.
You niggas is out here ruining bitches' lives. You motherfuckers
she's
is
just,
men
like,
are the
got
like
him in her
largest
arms,
homeless population
and it's the scene where,
in
like,
America. I just need y'all to know that single men,
They're just, like,
not single
at
men,
what
not
point
just
in-
black
in
men,
cinema
men in
you see
general
a black
are the
man
largest
just, like,
homeless
fully surrender
population
himself
in this
to his
country.
partner.
Right,
At
you
what
motherfuckers
point
is
in
moving
media
from couch to
period
couch.
do you
The
see
problem
that, right?
is
That's
that
what, like, I was just
the
explaining
standard
this
for
shit to my
us
son
fellas
the other
really
day.
does need
Right,
to be
like,
examined. Part of the reason why
R&B
Trump and them was
as a
able
genre is
to
effectively,
slide
like,
in
dead
and
as
get the
a door,
popularity
right?
that they
Like,
did
the
was
kind of the same way
because
rock music,
of their
right?
approach
Like, obviously
towards
genre
the
is
male
still, like,
population,
alive and still has
right?
dedicated audience.
And
But
that's
I'm
part
saying,
of the
like,
reason why
its cultural
we keep
significance
doing this,
is not
because
necessarily
as
what it was,
what is now
even
being
as it was in the
cheekily
early
coined
2000s.
as the
Right.
dark left. Right, I do
shopping
feel like
mall
there needs
and
to be some
hear the
kind of
song playing
neutral
over the
male
speaker
left
and see multiple
leaning
other people
influence,
singing along.
right? Where
My
we can
point is
joke
that
about
in order
like,
to get
Don't get me wrong, I
love
still have the
songs,
Straw Hat Jolly Roger.
we have to
in
go
my
to
car,
pop music.
so.
And most
You
of
can
that
joke
is
My boss
and
calls
be an
me
ally.
My boss calls me her little
younger,
militant.
Kind of like
the Joe Rogan dream is
it's
real,
not
right? Like you can joke and be an ally, but it
tested,
starts with
fortified,
holding yourself to a higher standard,
battle
fellas.
scarred,
And if women are
love
at a
songs,
point where
right,
they're
that we were
asking,
getting in, like,
is
the
it
70s,
embarrassing
the 80s,
to have a boyfriend?
like, you know,
then that's
shit, the
just
60s,
one more
50s,
cue that
right?
none
None
of
of
this
90s
is
R&B
normal.
type
But
shit,
what
right?
should be
Like,
normal
Completely
is
unrelated.
following
Actually,
the Flood
it is
Pod on
related.
everything,
And that is on
everything. And
everything.
giving a shout out to
As
our
far as,
patrons
like,
in
cultural
Rated
travesty
Peacock.
go,
Hey, we
How
see you made it to the
big
end
of
of
a
the
cultural
episode,
travesty
Slater.
is
Thunder Night, alright,
Yo,
and Andrew
Oh, I
P.
mean,
Raymer.
And if you want to get your name in the
but
shout
now-
outs,
how
don't
old was he?
forget to
I don't know
donate
much about
and
him.
subscribe
I
to
heard
the
about-
Flood
I mean,
Pod and
I don't
share,
remember how
like,
old he was,
do
but
all
what I
the
can
things.
tell
We'll be
you
back
is
at you guys
that
with
it-
more
I feel
hot
like
takes
it is
next
as much
week.
Of a cultural travesty
Deuces.
as the death of art.
Look, it's a flood. It's flooding.
Get away.
Quick, we need to get to higher ground.
Open the floodgates.
Wait, why can't we talk about Black Sabbath?